Hey everybody, welcome back to another developer log for Twisted Dreams. Today is the third one, and our last one, obviously, if you watched it, we went over a lot of different topics. It was like 20 some minutes long. This one is going to be a bit shorter and a bit more focused. I'm joined only by one other member today. His name is Matthew. He didn't appear in the previous log. But we're going to be going over some things that me and him have both been working on a lot recently, and that is the UI and menus for the game. I've been doing a lot of work on the menus, and Matthew has been doing a lot of work on that, like the in-game UI. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let Matthew talk, and then I'll share the menu stuff when he's done.
Hello, my name is Matthew and I'm a programmer here at Abyssal Studios. Today, I would like to showcase some of the UI elements I've worked on alongside one of our artists, Elaine. You've probably already noticed the two icons in the bottom corners of the screen. The icon in the bottom right will indicate whether or not you are running, and depending on what brother you are controlling, the sprite will reflect their design and, as you saw already, will change to a running sprite once you start running. The icon in the bottom left will be used to bring up each brother's map, with the icons and maps being different depending on the brother. For instance, Raimi, being the younger brother, will have his own map that he drew himself, which will look a lot more cobbled together compared to Enzo, who got his map from a stand, therefore looking a lot more professional and official. Next, I would like to talk about the pause menus and how they differ in the two worlds. In this game, whether you are in 2D or 3D, the pause menu will look a lot more natural or mechanical to reflect the state of the two worlds further. The pause menus will also have their colors palettes match the brother whose ideals better shape the world. For instance, Enzo, our older brother who wants to stay in the real world, will have the pause menu and the buttons be red much like his primary color palette. Raimi, on the other hand, much prefers the dream world to the real world and wants to stay in it. Therefore, his pause menu and buttons will be blue much like his primary color palette, as you can see here. The final thing I want to show you today is our dialogue system, which will be a feature in both 2D and 3D. In 2D, the dialogue will mostly be between Raimi and Enzo to either explain the mechanics to the player, such as this rune, or it will just be banter between them about the world they're in. An invisible trigger will activate the dialogue, and as you are seeing right now, the dialogue will disappear after a certain amount of time, and, as I mentioned before, will explain certain mechanics. In 3D, our dialogue will be a bit different, with there being two types. The first type will be pretty similar to our 2D, with, once it's triggered, an NPC will talk either just for flavor text or to tell the player something. These interactions could just be telling the player something important, or telling them about their day, or just some world building. Our second type of dialogue will be used mostly to tell about important story beats. This dialogue will lock the player in place in a cutscene, and the player will have to hit E to advance the dialogue, and will not be able to move until after the exchange finishes. This could just be, as I said, to talk about important story beats, or will be about certain stuff that will precede the event.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed Matthew's segment, but to get onto the menus that I've been working on, here we are in editor. I'm noticing on screen I'm actually showing some things that we haven't talked about or shown yet, but I'm sure we'll get to those. You'll see them more in the future. I think it's just some newer assets that we haven't shown off. But what I'm gonna do basically is I'm just gonna show you what it looks like when you open the game and you're taken into like the main menu system and how that all looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the play button up here. So we have that nice little intro with our logo that pops up, and then not a whole lot of sound effects elsewhere, but this is what the main menu looks like. You have these buttons which you can hover. You might notice a nice glow effect that we have on here as well. Of course, with the logo up top also glowing. And in the bottom right, we have a like scrolling links thing to all of our social media, devlogs, Abyssal as well as in there, a number of things. So I won't I won't press the quit button, obviously, not quite yet. But if I go ahead and click on settings, I'll go into the settings menu. This is pretty early in development. There's not a whole lot of things you can do. You can change the screen size. You can change the volume levels. This stuff is probably gonna receive some changes. This is, like I said, this is very early, and these tabs don't have anything, but it is here, and I'm actively working on that. So I can go ahead and press escape, the back button there, and I'll go ahead and click on the play menu. So that loads us into here, which is a little further on in development than the settings menu, but it's still somewhat early. So what we have up here is all of the levels. Each of these icons here represent a level. So the blue levels with the flowers, they represent the dream levels, and the orange ones with the gears in the bottom, those represent the 3D levels, or the real world levels, right? So the grayed out ones are the ones that you can't click on because essentially they aren't unlocked yet, or they're not made yet. But both of these two levels you can click on. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the first real world level. And one thing that you'll notice right here is you can actually select which brother you want to play as in the real world. So you can click Raimi, nice little hover animation there, and you can click Enzo, and that will allow you to select which brother you want to play as for the day, which will affect some of that gameplay stuff in the real world. I don't want to get too much into that though, because that will be explained more and explored more in the future. So I'm not going to click on one of these right now. Don't want to show too much of the 3D world. But if I go ahead and click on the Dream World one, it loads into what I have now, a prototype for the first level. By the time you guys watching this get your hands on it, it'll probably look a lot different. But oh, there's another asset that haven't shown off yet, but that's fine. So yeah, that's pretty much all the menu stuff that I've been working on. Still need some work, of course, but that's where I'm at with it. So hope you found it pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. We should have some more devlogs and more updates coming here in the next few weeks, so look forward to that. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.